50 years is a lifetime of shared breaths, thousands of meals, and endless conversations. But for many couples, the golden anniversary marks the beginning of a profound, silent winter. The bed that was once a sanctuary of passion and connection has become a vast, cold desert. The intimacy hasn't just faded, it has vanished into a void of routine and physical detachment. This is the dead bed, a psychological and biological phenomenon that haunts the later years of marriage. Dark psychology suggests that this loss of desire is rarely about age alone. It is about the erosion of mystery. When you know every story, every habit, and every thought of your partner, the biological spark of curiosity dies. You become roommates in a museum of your past selves. The tragedy isn't that the love is gone, but that the craving has been buried under the weight of half a century of predictability. Today, we peel back the layers of this uncomfortable truth. We examine why the fire goes out and whether it can ever be relit in the twilight of life. We are entering a realm of deep emotional isolation that millions face but few dare to name. If you feel the growing distance, or if you are simply staring at the empty space beside you, this protocol is for you. Let us confront the silence of the long-term heart. Stage 1. The erosion of mystery. The primary catalyst for the dead bed is the total erosion of mystery. Evolution has wired the human brain to respond to the unknown, to the chase, the discovery, and the novelty of a new connection. But after 50 years, the unknown has been replaced by a suffocating certainty. You know the exact way they clear their throat in the morning, the specific rhythm of their breathing at night, and every story they have ever told. In the realm of dark psychology, we understand that desire requires a gap. It requires a space between two people that curiosity can bridge. When that gap is closed by decades of constant proximity, the biological spark simply has no room to ignite. You no longer see a partner to be pursued. You see an extension of your own environment. The intimacy dies because the otherness of your partner has been absorbed into the mundane reality of daily survival. This familiarity breeds a specific kind of comfort that is the absolute enemy of passion. You are safe, you are secure, but you are also sexually invisible to one another. The brain stops releasing the dopamine associated with romantic discovery because there is nothing left to discover. You are living in a psychological stalemate where the love is infinite, but the attraction is zero. Stage 2. The biological clock and identity. Beyond the psychology of mystery, there is the cold, unapologetic reality of the biological clock. As the body ages through 5 decades, the chemical signals that once commanded desire begin to whisper rather than scream. Testosterone and estrogen, the primal fuels of intimacy, gradually decline, leaving behind a body that prioritizes rest over passion. But the real tragedy isn't just the hormones. It is the loss of the sexual self-identity. In our later years, we often stop seeing ourselves as sexual beings and begin to see ourselves only as caregivers, grandparents, or retirees. Dark psychology notes that when you stop perceiving yourself as attractive, you subconsciously project that invisibility onto your partner. You stop trying to ignite a fire because you no longer believe you are a source of heat. The bed becomes dead because the people in it have retired from their own desires. This internal shift creates a profound emotional distance that is often mistaken for simple aging. We tell ourselves it is natural to lose interest, but often it is a psychological surrender. We trade the intensity of connection for the safety of silence, unaware that this silence is slowly eroding the foundation of our partnership. When the body stops communicating, the heart often follows suit, leading to a state of living together apart. Stage 3. The resentment anchor. The third, and perhaps most invisible reason for a deadbed, is the resentment anchor. After 50 years, a relationship is no longer just a collection of beautiful memories. It is also a graveyard of unspoken hurts, ignored needs, and suppressed anger. Every time a partner felt unheard, every time a small conflict was swept under the rug, it added a link to a heavy, invisible chain. This is the weight that anchors you to the cold side of the bed. Dark psychology explains that intimacy requires a high level of emotional safety. When resentment builds up over decades, the body subconsciously perceives the partner as an adversary rather than a lover. You cannot be physically open with someone you are emotionally guarded against. The lack of desire is often the body's way of protesting years of psychological neglect. The dead bed isn't a lack of love. It is the presence of an emotional barrier that neither partner knows how to dismantle. This anchor keeps you stuck in the past. You see your partner not as they are today, but through the lens of every mistake they've made since the day you met. This bitterness acts as a powerful anti-aphrodisiac. When you touch, you don't feel warmth. You feel the cold friction of 50 years of accumulated grievances. To revive the bed, you must first cut the chain of resentment, but for many, the anchor has become too heavy to lift. Pause for a second. What we reveal here is part of the San Wisdom Protocol, the dark truths most are too afraid to face. To master these strategic insights and protect your mind, subscribe and hit the bell icon now. Have a topic we should expose? Drop a comment below. Now, back to the shadows. Stage 4, the routine death. The fourth factor is the silent assassin known as the routine death. After 50 years, your interactions have likely been reduced to a predictable script. You know exactly what they will say before they open their mouth, and you know exactly how they will react to every situation. While this predictability provides a sense of security, it is the absolute poison for sexual desire. The human brain is hardwired to ignore things that are constant and unchanging. In dark psychology, we refer to this as habituation. When a stimulus is repeated enough times, the nervous system stops responding to it. Your partner's presence, which once caused your heart to race, has now become background noise, like the ticking of a clock or the hum of a refrigerator. You are physically close, but psychologically invisible to one another. The bed becomes dead because it has become just another piece of furniture in a life of repetitive habits. To maintain intimacy, there must be a sense of the other, someone who is still a separate individual with their own mysteries and surprises. When two people merge so completely that there is no longer a distinction between them, the sexual tension vanishes. You cannot desire what you already fully possess and completely predict. The tragedy of the 50-year mark is that many couples have become so familiar that they have forgotten how to be strangers to each other. Stage 5, the fear of vulnerability. The fifth and perhaps most poignant reason for the dead bed is the fear of vulnerability. After 50 years, the bodies that were once young, strong, and confident have transformed. Age brings with it a vulnerability that many find difficult to navigate. Instead of embracing the shared experience of aging, many partners withdraw into a shell of self-consciousness. They hide their bodies, they hide their weaknesses, and in doing so, they hide their souls. In the shadows of dark psychology, we see that shame is the ultimate barrier to intimacy. When you feel that you are no longer the person your partner fell in love with, you subconsciously pull away to protect yourself from perceived rejection or pity. The dead bed becomes a fortress where both partners are hiding from the gaze of the other. You stop touching because touch requires you to be seen, and being seen in your most fragile state feels too dangerous. This silence becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You assume your partner no longer wants you because you no longer want yourself. By refusing to be vulnerable, you deny your partner the chance to love the person you have become, not just the memory of who you were. The bed is dead not because the love has expired, but because the courage to be truly seen has vanished under the weight of a half-century of pride and fear. The dead bed, after 50 years, is not an inevitable fate, but it is a powerful psychological mirror. It reflects the mystery we've lost, the resentment we've stored, and the vulnerability we've buried. To accept the silence as natural is to ignore the soul's persistent hunger for connection. While the fire of youth may have cooled, the warmth of a deep, conscious intimacy is still within reach for those brave enough to confront the shadows between them. Breaking the cycle requires more than just a physical act. It requires a psychological revolution. It demands that you cut the anchor of past hurts, shatter the routine of predictability, and dare to be seen in your most fragile state. You must learn to look at your partner not as a familiar habit, but as a person with a hidden universe still waiting to be explored. The bed only stays dead as long as you refuse to breathe life into the emotional space you share. If you are ready to face the uncomfortable truths of long-term intimacy and reclaim the connection you thought was gone forever, type "The Reawakening" in the comments below. Join the San Wisdom Protocol as we continue to dissect the deep, dark mechanics of human relationships. Do not let the silence have the last word. Your journey is not over. It is simply waiting for you to turn the page.